Imagine living in a city where waking up doesn't guarantee you'll make it to nightfall, where every corner feels like a gamble, and every noise behind you could be the last sound you ever hear. Welcome to San Luis, the place where life lasts only as long as a magazine clip, and the streets show no mercy, not even to those just passing through. Here, death doesn't warn you. It just arrives. The first lesson in San Luis doesn't come from a map, a cop, or a tourist brochure. It comes from the air. Thick air that smells of gasoline, grilled meat, wet pavement, and old gunpowder. You step out of the car, and the sounds size you up as if they're testing you. Engines that roar a little too loud. Laughter that sounds too forced to be innocent. A whistle in the distance that could have been a firecracker. Or something worse. No one explains it to you, but you understand quickly. Here, every corner has an owner, every gas station is a border, and every stare, if it lasts longer than a second, is a dangerous conversation. Welcome to the city where feeling like you could be killed at any moment isn't paranoia. It's a survival protocol. Tonight, we're walking through places where the GPS only says, "You've arrived," but your body whispers, "Get out," without looking like you're running. If you're not nervous yet, then you haven't understood a thing. The driver who picks us up doesn't ask why we came, he asks who we came to see. "Passing through isn't the same as staying," he says, and that line follows you like a shadow as you drive through avenues that change both postal codes and moral codes every 3 traffic lights. By day, San Luis looks like a postcard, old domes, leafy parks, and the famous arch rising in the background of selfies and weddings. But by night, the postcard crumples and a new drawing appears. Blocks divided by wars that never make the news, a gas station that's a meeting point, a convenience store that's neutral ground until someone decides it's not. In these blocks, courtesy is strategy. Good evening is a safe conduct, all good is a password, and moving with purpose, not too fast, not too slow, is a language worth mastering. Here, no one needs statistics to know what life is worth. It's measured in habits. You fill your tank with your right hand and hold your phone low in your left, so you're not tempted to check it. You pay in cash so your wallet doesn't stay open too long. You walk along the curb to keep your eyes on the street. Locals say, learn 3 rules, and you might grow old. Don't argue over nonsense, don't stay where you're not wanted, and never take the same route twice. People here don't brag, they survive, and those who survive tell. One of them, barely 21, shows 4 scars like passport stamps. "I got used to it," he says, but his eyes tell the truth. No one gets used to the sound of a magazine clicking into place 3 meters behind your neck. The police exist sometimes, and when they do show up, they're often late to a scene that's already changed hands. Some patrols make rounds in daylight, others only appear when a well-connected surname dials the right number. You ask around, and the equation repeats. Too many calls, too few officers, and an invisible jury deciding which fights are worth stopping and which will end up as 3 lines in a report. Between the cop who's afraid to enter a block alone and the neighbor who's learned not to call because calling makes things worse, a gray zone is born where law is just an idea and "we'll handle it ourselves" is daily bread. No one debates whether the system is broken, they just say it works exactly as intended. Strangely, neighborhood borders aren't marked by signs, they're marked by trash cans, by graffiti that shifts in color and typography, by music coming out of a dented car with shiny rims. Crossing a street can mean crossing a border. There are blocks that share the same gas station, park, and court, but not the same morning. Step onto the wrong sidewalk and someone will ask, "Where are you from?" That question isn't curiosity, it's an identity test. Answer wrong, and you stop being the new guy to become the target. You can't explain it, you have to feel it. The GPS says 100 meters to go, but your body says 100 decisions to make. The economy here has 2 sounds, engines and gunfire. Some work 3 shifts and sleep with one eye open. Others work at night because daylight makes them too visible. And others can't work at all because an address is a luxury, a background check is a trap, and a record, real or alleged, shuts doors that were born closed. It hits hard to realize that, in this city, the price of one teenage mistake can become a lifetime debt. A friend sums it up with brutal precision. The streets don't forgive your first mistake. They charge interest until you're empty. Ask for a way out, and they'll show you two: a scholarship, a trade, a mentor who believes in you, or a stroke of luck as rare as rain in August, forcing you to choose between the neighborhood and the chance to never come back. The recurring topic is guns, yes, but beneath it lie two other words: fear and control. They'll tell you how easy it is to get a gun, easier than it should be, and how some nights the city sounds like a video game played by trembling hands. Yet almost everyone adds the same nuance: I carry it so they don't kill me not to kill. That's San Luis in a nutshell. Surviving with what could destroy you. Some don't say it, but you can see it in how they handle their weapon like it weighs more than the scale says. It's not grams, it's decisions. Do you use it and live, or don't use it and never make it home? The kind of moral dilemma they don't teach in ethics class, but here it's a daily exam. There's another ethics here, street ethics, that collides head-on with the state's. No one teaches it with a manual, they teach it with a funeral. If you see something, know something, can say something, don't. Because speaking turns you into a dead man who's still breathing. It's a twisted logic fed by real pain and understandable fear. When the system won't protect you for stepping forward, the street punishes you when you do. Between silence and statistics, silence wins. And so, too many murders become whispered stories that never reach file. It's not justice, an old man says. It's the administration of fear. Sometimes the city shows you another face, like it wants to remind you it's more than just blood and sirens. Kids still play hopscotch, old ladies water plants in plastic tubs, and someone offers you a plate of ribs like a peace treaty. San Luis is also a neighborhood that sings from porches with plastic chairs and hugs tight in narrow patios when someone turns another year older. The same young man flashing a gold chain in a rap video rocks his baby to sleep in a curtainless living room at midnight. Family isn't the gang, they say, but the gang feels like family when nobody else answers your calls. So when you ask if they regret it, they give you an exhausting emotional calculus. Every day I dream of leaving, and every day I love my people. In that contradiction, the whole world fits. Trauma here is a silent language. No one says, I have PTSD. They say, I can't sleep without background noise. No one confesses, I have panic attacks. They say, I hate fireworks. When someone shows you a scar, they're not looking for pity, they're anchoring their story to your memory. So next time you hear a gunshot at night, you'll think of names, not numbers. The whole city has learned to live with a subconscious on high alert. You step out of the car, and a motorcycle revving nearby feels like a threat. A car turning off its headlights too soon feels like a warning. Tiny details your brain translates into danger, because here, sometimes, they are. Many still think all this is just the individual's fault, their choices, their bad path. But the propeller that brought them to this corner has been spinning for decades. Schools that closed, factories that left, invisible red lines that decided which neighborhoods got investment and which got broken promises, wars on drugs that were really wars on the poor, and politicians who appeared during campaigns only to vanish a week later. San Luis, like many American cities, has a past that never passed, and that past still sits down to dinner every night at the tables of families whose math doesn't add up. Blaming bad choices is easy. Looking into history's mirror isn't. Along the way, you meet someone who talks about getting out with a conviction you can't tell is faith or stubbornness. He wants to rap, drive a forklift, become a barber all at once because choosing just one dream feels like a luxury. Another tells you peace is a minute without sirens, happiness is his little brother not seeing what he saw at 7. There's an entire generation that learned to tell time by sound, knowing what each noise means, when to move, when to wait. Yet when you ask them for advice for the kids coming up, they get serious, like parents. Don't step off the porch. Don't fall for what shines. The only thing that really shines is the future. The sentence floats in the air, contradictory and beautiful like a kite with no wind. San Luis is also a stage for political contradictions. Some call for iron fist policies and fuller prisons. Others demand social investment and fewer patrols. Between them, the measures that actually work get lost. Violence interruption, same-day pay jobs, addiction and trauma treatment without impossible paperwork, real mentorship for first jobs, shelters where your shoes don't get stolen. It's not that they don't exist, they just don't always arrive. And when they do, it's too late. Like an ambulance missing its turn by 2 streets. In the end, the city doesn't need perfect speeches. It needs imperfect solutions that show up. Because a patch that prevents a bullet tonight is worth more than a grand reform that never comes. There are nights when San Luis sounds like a stadium engine's roaring where they shouldn't, and others when silence is so deep you swear the neighborhood is holding its breath. You walk, and every step is a negotiation. Don't look too long. Don't take out your phone. Don't ask what's not your business. You pass a kid who could be your cousin, a woman who could be your aunt, an old man who could have been your teacher, and you realize luck is a cruel architect. It gave some people streets that reward effort, and others streets that punish it. If this is a game, the rules were rigged from the start. And yet, the city refuses to give up. At 4 in the afternoon, the same block that terrifies you at 11 smells of charcoal and sweet sauce. Kids chase a half-flat ball, a neighbor sets up a folding table to offer $5 haircuts, a girl braids hair with glitter, someone brings ice, someone else turns on a speaker that plays a chorus aimed at the sky. People greet each other by name, hug out of habit, and promise protection without guarantees. That fragile, stubborn promise keeps San Luis afloat when the headlines try to sink it. It's not resignation, it's resistance. If you came looking for a verdict, you leave with an inner vigilance carved out of stories. The city where you can be killed at any moment isn't a single monster. It's a mosaic of pain demanding justice, loyalties craving a second chance, laws asking to be enforced, and policies begging to be rewritten. Here, fear is real, but so is the strength in a mother's voice when she says, "My son won't walk my street again." And when she says it, the neighborhood lowers its voice as if something sacred just cracked open. Before you go, someone stops you with a hand on your shoulder and tells you a truth no statistic can capture. We're not the worst headlines you read. We're the part of the city you see when your makeup falls off. You nod because now you know. In San Luis, you've learned danger isn't an urban legend. It's the shadow walking 2 steps behind you. You've learned to leave without running and to look without offending. But you've also learned there are exits, though they're hidden behind doors no one opens for you. Tonight, as the arch glows in the distance like a portal to another world, you promise yourself not to forget the names, the scars, and the laughter. Because in the city where you can be killed at any moment, life clings on with teeth, with nails, and with songs. And that, in the end, is also San Luis. And that's how we reach the end of this video. If you liked it, I invite you to leave a like so we can keep making more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new content. Have an amazing day. See you next time.